Yeah, I mean, without the link to Dave, I have no desire at all to get my body naked in front of 3,000 live people in a theatre and however many people watch on television. Really, I mean, like a lot of people, I'm not particularly body confident. And as long as it's covered up, then that's fine. But, really?
You described yourself as bruised and battered before your announcement. How is filming for the Real Monty going?
Oh, this has taken me so far out of my comfort zone doing the full Monty that you wouldn't believe it. I mean, I'm not physically particularly fit, and so the physical challenges, along with the mental challenges, are something which I wasn't particularly well prepared for. And we're being taught how to dance a fairly insane routine, which lasts 10 minutes by diversity. So that's diversity, the guys who jump and swirl and do all that stuff at a high pace. And so they're teaching us. So, we're expected to sort of keep up. And I'll give you an idea of the pace that the main dance that we do, the pace is so every move you do is that kind of speed. So you can do it very nicely when you do it slowly in practice. When the music comes on, it just takes it to another level. So yeah, battered and bruised physically, mentally, let's not go there. I mean, the idea of what we're doing is off anybody's, charts in terms of being comfortable. But, you have to keep coming back to the reason, and that is we're doing it, for cancer awareness, to get people, guys and girls, to go to the doctors at the first sign of any issues. And if by me getting my kit off, it gets a few more people watching, well, actually, I'm not sure that's the case, but, it gets more interest in the whole thing, then, it's a pretty important show for me to be part of.
How did you prepare for your big stage debut?
So, I mean, I have been trying to do a little bit of more exercise. So I got a personal trainer, very grand. And actually, she's been brilliant. Just pushing me a little bit further than I would normally go. And basically, that is, from stop to a very first gear. I was actually quite horrified how out of shape I had become. And it's very easy to slip into things, isn't it? Especially during lockdown, we all got, either you were brilliant and you did much more exercise, or a lot of people sort of drown their sorrows in drink and food. And I was probably the latter category. So she's been trying to, I gave her Mission Impossible of trying to get me sorted out in 5 weeks. So, but of course, I mean, I'm a 58-year-old bloke. My back is, quite delicate. My knees are a little bit delicate, and so I'm trying to the first week when we did the first bit of dancing, I went and pulled a tendon, ripped a tendon, because I was just trying something that I really shouldn't have been trying. So now I'm taking it a bit more carefully, and hopefully, the body will survive.
It sounds like such an incredible experience to go through, something worlds apart from what you must be used to.
It's definitely out of my comfort zone doing this. But I'm doing it for this, the main reason, which is it's in memory of my best mate, who was the same age as me, who 4 years ago died of bowel cancer, and that rocked all our worlds. His family left two teenage daughters and a wife, and he was my best mate. He was the best man at my wedding. And, to see him, big, strong, strapping, 52-year-old, basically be wiped out in 2 years, was extremely sobering. So, when I was asked to do this, I mean, it's completely outside the norm of what I would do. But, I'm doing it in memory of Dave, and also with a view to, just raising awareness and getting more people to the doctor sooner, because his widow sadly thinks that if he'd have gone to the doctor sooner, the first signs of any problems, he might still be here today. So if you can sort of avoid anybody else going through the kind of pain and suffering that we have all gone through, in me to a large degree, but mostly his family, and that's very worthwhile. But it's a massive challenge. I mean, I like a challenge, but this one is definitely about as extreme as it gets.
So when they asked you to take part in the show, was Dave at the forefront of your mind in terms of whether you were going to agree to it or not?
Yeah, I mean, without the link to Dave, I have no desire at all to get my body naked in front of 3,000 live people in a theatre and however many people watch on television. Really, I mean, like a lot of people, I'm not particularly body confident. And as long as it's covered up, then that's fine. But, really? But I've never even had a picture of me with my top off, never mind anything else. So the idea of, revealing all is just about as uncomfortable as it gets. But, keep thinking of the cause.
And speaking of the cause, why is the Real Full Monty such an important programme?
So the Real Full Monty isn't about raising money for cancer. It isn't raising about money for cancer awareness or even tied into specific cancer charities, although obviously the essence is on, if you like, cancers that affect, if you like, what you want to call them, private parts in blokes. So it's testicular, bowel, prostate, and in women, breast and cervical. So its only reason for being is raising awareness in the hope that somebody who's there at home watching goes, or the partner of somebody who's there at home watching goes, you've had a bit of blood in your poo, haven't you? Is that gone away? Or you putting you hiding under a rock? Because none of us like the idea. We'd rather be in blessed ignorance. We don't want somebody to tell us that we've got cancer, because that's pretty terrible. But I tell you what, it's a lot better to be told it at stage 1, when they can do something about it, than be told it at stage 5, where they say basically you're messed up. That's it. Goodbye. Say goodbye to everyone. You've got 2 months to live. So, it's obviously going to be a terrible situation. But if you catch it early, your chances of survival are so much better. So, that's why it's such an important show. And that to do it in this kind of frivolous entertainment kind of way is just a way to get the maximum number of people in. But also the program follows our journey. So, there's 2 shows, and the first one and parts of the second one are all about us doing our training, our own worries about taking part, putting the whole thing together. So there is and also most importantly, all our backstory, because everyone who's taking part has got a backstory. Everybody has got an association with cancer, be that they've suffered it themselves. Some of the people taking part are women who've had mastectomies. One of the girls taking part's got thyroid cancer. The blokes have all got links to people who've had cancer, lost loved ones, lost parents, lost best friends. So everyone's got a really important reason for doing it. And I think, if you like, that becomes the essence of the show. The bit at the end, taking your kit off, is just a bit of light relief at the end. That's not really what the show is about.
And speaking of the cast, which member did you bond with the most?
You know what? We have been really lucky that we've had a really strong and supportive team. And I think without that, it would have been really, really difficult. There's no prima donnas. There's no, big I ams. And I think as a group, we've been really, really lucky. So, all of them are all really great in their own way. A real cross section of people from backgrounds. My only concern about the blokes, and I said this at the start, was that I'm not doing this if I'm with a load of Chippendales and super hunks. And blow me, I'm with an Olympic athlete, a professional dancer, a Love Island super hunk, and a boy band Adonis. So, I didn't quite go to plan.
As COVID-19 has prevented people from getting checkups, what is your message for those who are still reluctant to see their GPs about bumps and lumps?
I understand why people are nervous about going to the doctor. In some ways, you don't want to be told because you fear the worst, but it's always better to know. There's no situation where you wouldn't have been better off going sooner, because then it can be sorted out. And we live in a world of incredible, medicinal advances and technological advances and cancer treatment advances. But you've got to get yourself to the doctor so that process can start as soon as possible. And I don't think there's one type of cancer that it doesn't make a hugely positive difference if you get to the doctor soon. So especially if it's those embarrassing cancers, that you think, well, I'm not going to have some doctor do whatever they have to do to check that one out. Honestly, whatever it is, it's not as bad as dying, okay? And that's it in a nutshell. Get yourself to the doctor at the first signs of a problem. And, the other thing is, when you get there, if you're fobbed off, or if they say, well, you're not susceptible to cancer, don't worry about it. If you know your body, something's wrong, just be persistent. Be persistent. Say, okay, that might be the case. Normally, you wouldn't expect me to have cancer at this age, and I've got no history of cancer in the family, but I know something's not right, so I need a few more tests. So that's not to put extra strain on the NHS, but again, they would rather that they can start their treatment sooner. So if you feel something is wrong, be persistent.